With all the talk about the Panama Canal, small to medium-sized businesses wonder, where do I even start to expand globally? Welcome to Panama's economic zones, designed to take your business global. Let's meet the subject matter experts representing the free trade zones that you and I can tap into. I'm Samí Haiman-Marrero, and welcome to Global Access Panamá. Let's go! Logistics. That's the first step. If you want to start a business here in Panama, you need to know about logistics. And it sounds complicated, and it could be, unless you have a buddy like I do. And I want to introduce you to Ramón Poveda with RP Consulting. I took your workshop this past weekend, and it was all in Spanish. And thank God I'm bilingual, because I understood every bit of it. And thank you. I just wanted to thank you for taking some time to join me today.
No, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be like part of your development and part of your understanding of logistics, which is mandatory nowadays.
Absolutely. And so, as I told you, we're looking to really provide small to medium-sized businesses like myself that are based out of the U.S. the knowledge and the insights on what's going on here in Panama and how to do it. And so I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to go through your 3-hour workshop to really learn step by step with clear examples. I think clarity is a gift, right?
Yeah, I think in the end is understand that logistics is part of our life.
Yeah.
On our daily life, we are doing logistics, and we take it for granted sometimes.
Yes.
So basically, my idea is to share that information. People that usually not understand logistics and all the terminology and all of that, but giving the information in a very clear and easy way to understand it. So that's basically the idea. So thank you.
Yes, no, absolutely. And so then logistics, when people talk about logistics in general, you're thinking about moving things from here to there.
Yeah.
From here to there, right? But it takes a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's more than that.
Yes. And so what are the different ways that here in this international hub that is Panama, okay, that connects everything to the world, that connects the world, right? So what would you say are the primary ways to move things from here to there?
Panama is not only a hub in air and sea transportation, but also in other areas such as finance, fiscal benefits. The first thing that I would point out is that Panama have the Colón free zone, which is like a bridge for a lot of businesses that don't require to be here physically. So you can connect and collaborate with businesses within the Colón free zone, and they can manage your inventory, and you can be anywhere in the world, and you can ship out all the goods to your customers in a very easy way. We have 5 ports in the Atlantic and 2 ports in the Pacific. So we have a lot of connection, and we have people that have huge expertise in these areas. So we have like everything that you need. We have it here in this tiny country.
Yes, but it seems like a small endeavor, but it's really big, like big. And you guys have the talent, you have the infrastructure, you have the knowledge, you have the language skills, right?
Yeah.
And that moving of products and services happens through, you already mentioned maritime, right?
Maritime.
It could be air, you already said that, right?
And even inland transportation as well.
Inland,
And because we also connect Central America through like inland trucks. So we have like a big hub, a logistic hub here in Panama. And as well in several free zones that we have in the Pacific. We have Panama Pacifico, in the Atlantic we have the Colón Free Zone, and so and across the country we have other ones that can provide a lot of benefits for any type of company in the U.S.
That's fantastic. And this applies for products, but also for services.
Also for services such like finance and banks. We have and the Ministry of Commerce. I think in the beginning of this year, they shared that a new free zone will be here to establish here from Dubai.
Oh.
So it will be like the country is expanding their services in terms of free zone and fiscal and finance and other type of services from here, and as well as the semiconductor industry.
Oh, so technology.
Yeah,
It's
technology
huge, right?
is huge. It's a huge industry. They represent billions around the world. And now with the nearshoring strategies from a lot of countries such as the US, Canada, to try to get the product near them. So Panama is like very
Right there.
It's
like
there.
right here. This is right here where this is like the central focal point for
Exactly.
global business in this hemisphere.
Exactly, because we connect Asia, like products that come to Asia can come here in Panama. You can have it in your inventory here, and you can ship out to the Caribbean, to South America,
To Europe.
to Europe.
Yeah, and so then imagine that, right? So it's so critical to really understand the logistics and how it works in a very detailed manner, because you do have inward and outbound, inbound and outbound through the Atlantic and through Pacific. Imagine.
And the thing is here is that even if you don't know the specifics, even if you don't know how to do it, you have people here in Panama
Like you.
like me that we can help you out with all the technical topics such as documentation and how to do it and how to manage your inventory in a very efficient way. So
And the budgeting,
Budgeting.
and the warehousing, and the manufacturing and packaging. I mean, just every single aspect.
Yeah.
And so it seems complicated, but it's not. And I love the analogy that you gave during your workshop, right? So during the session, because that was, for me, that's where it clicked. And so you described it as, okay, so you're gonna have guests coming
So
to your home to have dinner.
have to,
And
yeah,
so,
you have
so
to cook.
right.
So you have
And
to
so
cook.
we do logistics every day, people. So tell us, share.
Yeah, okay. So let's imagine that you have you have to cook for your friends. You have a dinner at your house. What is the first thing that you have? You have to plan it. So you have to pick a day, you have to pick an hour, and you have to select what type of food you have to cook. So in that, immediately you have to plan you have to check your inventory. Where you have your inventory? In your fridge. So you have to check what do you have to cook that.
Right.
So the first thing that you have to select, okay, what did I miss? Okay, I have this, and I have to buy that. So you have you have to list and you have to purchase.
Right.
So
Right.
what you did there is like now you are procurement.
Exactly.
So you have to buy things
Yes.
to produce. So
Right.
and then when you have to buy, you have to select, okay, where I have to buy.
Where's the source? So
Where's
then
the
you
source?
have to source it.
Okay,
Yes,
so
exactly.
you have to go to supermarket and you have to go to the supermarket. Okay, which one? You have to select your best route. If you are working 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, okay, if I leave at 5, where is my closest supermarket?
Right.
And then when you buy, you go to your house, and then what you did, you have to produce and manufacture. So that's your cook.
I love it.
And you have to follow the instructions. Those instructions are your procedures.
Right.
That you probably in your business you have to document that.
Right.
It's like a process,
Like a recipe.
like a recipe.
Right.
That's your recipe. So when you produce it and manufacture, then you have to find a product and you have to deliver
Right.
to your friends.
Right.
And how you going to deliver? You have to package it.
Right.
So how to present?
Right. Are you going to put it on paper plates? Are you going to put it on the fine china?
Exactly.
Right.
So, and then when you have it all set out and they finish to eat,
And they say, Ramon,
you are the best.
you are the best.
we have to do this again.
Amazing. Yes.
So what is that? That's your feedback.
That's your feedback.
That's
right?
your feedback.
And then you tweak the recipe. Oh, it had too much salt.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
And then you can check also not on the food, on the quality of the food and the quality of the experience. So it's a customer experience.
Service. That's customer service.
Customer
Yes.
service and customer experience. So when you do that, it's just like cooking. Like you are cooking, but you take it for granted, but you are doing logistics, and that's your supply chain in your daily basis. So that's the peak of that's one thing that you can see on your daily life, and you can see that you are doing the logistic and supply chain even if you don't know it.
Right, exactly. I love that example, and I love that you left it for the end of the presentation because you taught us all of these concepts. You taught us the occupational language, like the business language, right? So we understood what things are called, but then in lay terms, so we could understand it, right? What they are. And then when at the end you gave that example, it just all clicked. I'm like, brilliant, right?
Yeah, don't be scared about the terminology and all the technical topics. The thing is that just keep it easy. As long as you keep it easy and smooth, things will be better. And also, if you have guidance and support on people, like here in Panama, like I am doing currently, helping people, helping professionals and businesses to have a very efficient way to operate here in Panama.
Right.
So the idea is to keep it simple.
Yes.
Simple.
Keep it simple, efficient, moving, productive, and really in a way that's clear, right? So that way you can scale, and you can scale smart.
And very important, you have to support everything with data.
With data, you see?
If you don't have your data correctly and in a very efficient way, your data is like your biggest treasure. Because that's where you can adjust, you can modify, you can get the information from your customers, from your suppliers, and understand how your business is doing, and then you can move forward.
Yes, and so I think that's important when you're doing a business plan to expand globally, right? To really understand how to capture the data and what kind of data you need to capture based on the products and services that you're looking to.
Yeah, specifically if you want to expand yourself.
Yeah.
That's why your customers and your clients are doing or trying to do is to expand themselves to other markets. The US is a big market, but the world is
it's an even bigger market.
Even bigger. So Latin America is year by year is constantly growing.
Yeah.
And in Panama as well, we are every year we are continuously in a private sector. We are growing in terms of logistics, infrastructure, ports, airports, and security, technology, and a lot of sectors. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Ramón. I really appreciate that you took the time to meet with me, and it's so great to meet you in person after having spent 3 hours with you and learning so much. And so I hope that we can do this again and maybe take a deep dive.
For sure. The next time, let's do it in Orlando.
Oh, I love that. You see? And then I'll cook for you. Exacto. Awesome. I have all the logistics ready to make a really, really good pastelón.
Epa.
Okay?
That's it.
There you go. We're here with Josimar Ortiz. He's the marketing director for the Colón Free Trade Zone. And hi, Josimar. Thank you for making time.
Thank you guys for having me today.
Absolutely. So I got to ask you, what's all the hype about the Colón Free Trade Zone?
Well, the Colón Free Trade Zone is a special economic zone where we dedicate ourselves to import and exports. As for right now, the commercial movement from last year was $24 billion. That means it was around more or less 12 billion in imports, 12 billion in re-exportations. Main countries, we have Central America that represents almost $4 billion in commercial movement. And as for right now, we do see a great opportunity being here in ExpoComer. specifically because we have new ties with Mercosur, which is going to be a potential increase in the commercial movement of basically goods that are coming from South America all the way to re-export those goods to Central America and other parts of the world.
That's excellent. I mean, it's so exciting to be here and feel the energy. This is really an international hub.
It is.
Talk to me about the growth in recent years. You just celebrated 25 years also, right, of the canal. And so then how does that all tie together?
The Colón Free Trade Zone, it's the second largest of the entire world. We are 76 years old. Since its inception, basically, we have dedicated ourselves to import and export of goods. But as for right now, we are actually moving forward towards the logistics in 3PL, 5PL inclusive. And we are trying to modernize and digitalize the Colón Free Trade Zone so that we can maintain ourselves in the innovative ecosystem of the world.
That's great. And so what does that mean for Panama as a country? Because I've had the insights of people that work here in this business ecosystem, and I'm told that you represent really like the best of culture, Caribbean culture, the best of world economic business and trade, right? And then also ese sabor, ¿verdad? De lo que es Latinoamérica. And so tell me, how special is the Colón Free Trade Zone in that picture?
It's really special because we do not only talk about trade, but we also talk about promoting Colón as that place to be. It's really rich in its culture, gastronomic food, everything. Colón is more than just logistics. One of the things is that we are promoting to increase the commercial movement so that we can increase also the tourism in the province. Also try to improve, enrich our culture a little bit more and let the world know the culture of Colón.
Yeah.
It makes sense a lot.
Yes, it really does. And I have to say, I came to visit earlier in the year, and it was that dual purpose, right? It was obviously vacationing with my family and really enjoying, like you said, the culinary arts, the museums, the beautiful people, right? And the whole vibe is just amazing, right? But then also to learn about, trade, about the history and how this has become, quite frankly, like the place to do business in this hemisphere globally.
And also what it represents to the province in that sense. I mean, more than 20,000 workers that work directly at the Colón Free Trade Zone, and also all the indirect jobs that it creates in the region.
Right. And so what can we see there? Like, so what? Describe.
So
no one's been to visit.
One of the things that you can see in the Colón Free Trade Zone, especially our showrooms, where you can see different stores with merchandising. Also, we have logistical companies that are established there. And then also, the entire hub when it comes to the railway, all the ports, the integration with the ports is also really important. And, it's really good to say that I think this is the only free zone that is connected to 3 main ports directly, and also with the railway company as well. And we are looking forward to add to that equation the airport, the international airport that we have in the province of Colón. Hopefully, we can integrate that soon.
That's excellent. And so then, whether by air, by water, right?
Yes.
By through shipments, by railroads, right?
Indeed.
You can connect to the Colón Free Trade Zone and take advantage of its incentives. Could you really talk to me about that? What benefits do businesses have to do business at the Colón Free Trade Zone?
So, of course, everything that has to do with tax exemption, because those are goods that are not entering into the country, they're being re-exported. So that's the main focus of it.
Okay. Great. And how does it work? Can you tell me? Give me the scoop. So let's say, for example,
we do have a declaration movement document, which is the only free trade zone that has that declaration movement. And this actually tracks where the merchandise is coming from. Of course, none of the products loses their certificate of origin, so that's really important to showcase where the product is from.
Yeah.
And from that, we use that to re-export that good or service that it's made in the Colón Free Trade Zone.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for this time.
Very much.
I know that you're busy. There's a lot of activity happening here on the floor, and I just appreciate your insight because people want to know.
You're really much welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
this is different than what we see in the US in the sense where it's more spaced out. I think that people honor individuality and are a lot more focused on making sure that the branding is showcased properly. That's my initial impression of the setup here at ExpoComer. We're here with Liz Corbett from Panama Pacifico, and thank you, Liz.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And so tell us a little bit about Panama Pacifico.
Well, Panama Pacifico is a special economic zone, and we have different activities that are incentivized. This means that companies that come and do these activities of the different sectors we have, they can apply for different labor incentives, even like tax incentives, and also migratory incentives. And we are a special economic zone that is also a strategic alliance within the public and the private sector.
Wow, that's fantastic. And so your role is Director of Investor Assistance.
Yes.
What does that look like?
I'm basically the right hand of all the investors that come to the area, which want to have their operations here in Panama Pacifico, and I just help them throughout the whole process. Starting from the know-how process, what are the benefits, what are their obligations, and once they are settled and they decide to come and have their business here in Panama Pacifico, then they go through a registration process with me, and once they are registered, then the investors can have their operations in the area, and they will always have a right hand at the agency that's going to help them throughout the whole process of being in Panama Pacifico, because of its strategic alliance between the public and the private sector. There are a lot of tramits that involve the government, and this can sometimes be a little difficult for foreigners. So we are like the right hand for them, and we help them throughout the whole process.
So basically, people don't have to feel like they're coming in blindly. They have you have Liz, right? That can assist you from point of entry until full-blown operations and distribution, not just here in Panama, but in Latin America.
Yes.
And around the world too.
Yes, and whatever help they may need while they are in Panama Pacifico, or if they just feel like they need information and they just need a little help, then that's what we do on my direction. We just go with we basically take the investor by the hand and just push them through all the process in Panama Pacifico, so they have a great experience here in the area.
That's fantastic. Is it a requisite for a company, be they large or small, to have a legal presence here in Panama to start operating?
No, there's no requirement of it. Can be a small company doing a small investment, hopefully a small company that wants to grow, so they can grow with Panama Pacifico, but we have no limitations on somehow how big or small the investment should be. We even have a few companies that are very small. They just do a few operations, but they are constantly growing here in Panama Pacifico, and hopefully one day they will become one of the big companies we also have in the area.
That's great. So you're fans of companies wanting to come here, start small and scale with you.
That's right.
How often does that happen? Like, has your experience been with that kind of company in the last several years?
Well, since I've been working here, we've had both companies. We've had big companies that already have their big operations, and they're just opening an office here to improve their operations. But we also have the registers, which are small companies, just probably have businesses on other countries, but they want to start small in Panama, just touch base with the different operations here in the area, the logistics platform we have here in Panama. And basically they just moving throughout the day by day, and if it's good for them, then they decide to go big.
Yeah, that's great. And so then when we're looking at Panama Pacifico, what would you find there? I mean, I can only imagine, but correct me if I'm wrong, that we're talking about distribution, manufacturing, warehousing. I mean, what are all of those key elements that Panama Pacifico does that hand holding with or for?
We have various sectors of activities that are incentivized. Any company can register in the area, but there are a few activities that have these tax incentives, and some of those activities are, for example, logistics activities, manufacture using high technology. We also have the cinematic industry. We have the maritime and aviation sector. If it's a company that works with airplanes or airports or probably ships going through the Panama Canal, they also have the activities incentivized here in Panama Pacifico. We also have call centers.
Oh, wow. Call centers. That's
We
awesome.
also have companies that develop softwares.
Yes.
Companies that manage all the big companies' data.
Yes.
So it's companies that are specialized in capturing the company's data. And
Yes.
just like giving them information. With
Yes. So data analytics and
Yes,
all that
we also
kind
have
of.
those companies. We also have companies like services. Administration services.
Okay, yes.
For example, I have a group of companies and I give my services, probably marketing services or accountability services to all those 7 or probably more subsidiaries.
Yes.
Or sister companies.
Yes.
That's also an incentivized activity.
So it's not only products, it could be
not
services too, because I think that that's a misnomer that exists, that people think, or false perception, right? That they think that to be part of the Panama economic hub, you have to have like big, shipments, right? Of like thousands of products and stuff, but it's not the case, right? Talk to me a little bit about that.
I think Panama has to be seen like a logistics platform, the whole Panama, not just Panama Pacifico. And depending on the company's activities or depending on the company's operations, then you have to choose which part of Panama you need to use in order to fit your operations. You can have, for example, in Panama Pacifico, it's not only products, it's also services. So you can have the service part of your operation here and then probably have the other parts of the operations elsewhere. Like Panama, I think it should be seen, the whole country is a logistics platform. It's a logistics hub.
That sense, yeah.
But from Panama Pacifico, you can still do all those things. You can provide services. You can import and export or re-export. You can we have various of logistic operators. So it's a place, a special economic zone where we don't focus only on one activity or one sector. We have different sectors. And one of the beautiful things about Panama Pacifico is that we don't only focus on the industrial part of life. We also have houses, residences, we have retails. So Panama Pacifico is an area where you not only work, but also study, live your life.
Look at that. And shop, right?
And eat.
And eat, yes, exactly. So it's a ecosystem that is to work, live, do business, and play.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's like you can have your whole life in Panama Pacifico and you don't need to go anywhere else.
Really?
You can be working on your job and have your children on the school and then just at night go back to your house and everything is Panama Pacifico. So, and because of our strategic alliance with the private sector, there's more economic stability, not only depending on the government, but also having the force of the private sector, which is London and regional in this case.
That's awesome. What do you enjoy the most about what you do?
I think what I've enjoyed the most is how much I've learned. Coming here, I had a very few ideas about what logistics was, probably what everyone knows, but working now on the inside, it's like just a big world just opened to my eyes. So I've learned a lot and it's been amazing. I've only been here a few months, but I've loved it. And also being able to give that assistance to investors, not just Panamanian investors, but also foreign investors, and helping them grow their business. It means a lot to me. So I love that.
That's great. Coming into this role, you come in with a fresh set of eyes too, right? And with innovative ideas. Tell me some of the new suggestions and recommendations that you're making coming into this space and wanting to make a difference?
Well, from the inside, we've worked on making the registration process a lot easier because we are a strategic alliance and we have the government part, which I'm from, and we also have the private part. Processes where, sometimes government processes take a bit of time, so we're working on making more effective and faster processes for all those foreign investors that come. And on the outside, we've been working on, I'd say, marketing, like letting Panama Pacifico be known to other people, not just Panamanians, but also outside the world. And we're working like on social media just to get this place to be known. This place has only probably 15 years, so it's relatively new. So getting to know this place and getting people to know Panama Pacifico and all the opportunities we have here to offer, that's one of our big goals and what we're trying to innovate with.
That's great. And so I want to thank you for this time you spent with us, because our role and our interest is to inform small to medium-sized businesses in the U.S., nuestros hermanos y hermanas allá en los Estados Unidos, to really understand how they can scale globally with partners like Panama Pacifico and Liz, who, as you can clearly see, is a subject matter expert. Thank you so much, Liz.
Thank you.
We're showing you what's possible on the global stage, and it doesn't matter what stage your business is in. Whether you're ready to launch, scale, or explore, we're here to guide you through all of it. Reach out, connect, and let's expand globally together.